Why hello and welcome to another Parry's Pickups. This time we're going to continue looking at the 3 months eBay haul, which is going on for a reasonable amount of time because there's plenty of games to talk about. Today we're going to be looking at import games. So these are the imports that I've picked up reasonably recently. First of all, we have Lemmings. So you may or may not know that I'm a collector of Lemmings games, and this is the original Game Boy version of Lemmings from Japan, and it's got a really nice cover, and this is one of the main reasons why I actually went the extra mile to pick this game up. Not because the game itself is great. I'm not a fan of the Game Boy Lemmings port. It's not very easy to play, and it's certainly one of the worst versions that I've played of Lemmings, but the little package you get here is great. An interesting little instruction book here. I love the Game Boy, Japanese Game Boy instructions and such. Here's some Lemmings with red hair. It seems that the instruction book's been printed in 2 colours, red or orange and black. So it's a fun little thing. It comes in a really dinky little box. The next import pickup is American, and that is again Lemmings. As far as I'm aware, this Game Boy Color version of Lemmings was only released in America and Japan under another name. I have the Japanese version here. In Japan it was called Lemmings Versus, but the Versus mode wasn't in this particular version. Unfortunately, it's again not a very good version of Lemmings. The original music has been replaced, which is crazy, because why would you play some of the best video game music of all time? So really, it's to be completist. Really, I hate to say it, but it is. It's a little bit more on the pricey side now. This game, which is a shame as well. But I have it now, and it's nice to have it round out the collection somewhat. The next up is a unboxed Super Nintendo game called Battle Masters. This, if you're wondering, is a one-on-one fighting game, another genre I'm very fond of. Had a quick go on this. It's fast. Character designs are pretty cool, if not a bit unoriginal. It's okay. I wouldn't rush out and buy it. I think it's a pretty good game. I've only played as one of the characters so far, so I've definitely got to spend a little bit more time on this game before I give it a critique. But there it is, Battle Masters. This is a rally game for the Super Nintendo. It's called Jalco Rally Big Run, the Supreme 4WD Challenge. The Supreme 4-Wheel Drive Challenge, I suppose. And this is a pretty poor racing game, to be honest. I was hoping, I thought it'd be nice to have a rally game on Super Nintendo, for my rally needs when I've got my Super Nintendo out. But this one, it's very easy, to be honest. It kind of so easy it bored me to tears, really. And it's just not very well presented either. So it's one of them sort of imagine hang-on without any kind of pace or fun, and obviously not on motorbikes. Maybe Outrun be a more similar type game, but still, I wouldn't bother with this. But there we have it. Next up is a game that I would bother with, and that is The House of the Dead for the Sega Saturn. This is a Japanese copy of the game. The UK PAL version seems to go for silly money nowadays, and it's much more affordable to pick it up. If you have the means to play Japanese Saturn games, they usually do turn out to be a lot cheaper than their PAL or NTSC. I don't know actually about NTSC because I don't collect American Saturn games, but as far as PAL ones go, this particular game is quite expensive. There's no language barrier to importing the Japanese version. It's House of the Dead. All you need to know is you shoot stuff. All the dialogue's in English, and really, badly delivered English, but that's fine. Because the gameplay's really fun, and I wasn't sure what to expect from House of the Dead, because I like House of the Dead 2. I thought House of the Dead 1 maybe a real step down from that, but no, it's a great fun light gun game, and I love the way the zombies blast apart, limbs fly off and such as you shoot them, and it's very exciting, very fun, and it's got nice graphics too, I'd say, for the Saturn. So I recommend that one. This game I discovered recently, and it's called Stroll. And it's a FMV based, what do you call it? Dragon's Lair. So you watch a video, and you need to continue the video you need to make the character do certain actions. So it'll flash up left, right, you press the button and the video continues. And that's basically what this game is. Stroll it's called. Sometimes you have to, here's the main character. You have to do some sort of, sorry if you can't see that very well. You do a bit of button bashing occasionally. It's just basically a series of quick time events set to an FMV video, which is really good. I like that kind of game, and this one is pretty cool. It's some really nice animation in it. Haven't had a chance to play this yet, but it is a game I have played before. That is Street Fighter 03, otherwise known as Street Fighter Alpha 3. This came with a controller pad that I bought. I haven't actually got it to show you here, but it was a 6-button fighting controller for the PlayStation 1. This is a Japanese game. And yeah, they came together as a bundle. I don't have this particular game on PlayStation 1. I have it on the Dreamcast and on the PlayStation 2 Street Fighter Alpha collection. But quite happy to have a PlayStation copy of it. I really like, for example, the box art and the PlayStation version is among the best. You have really nice manual inside, really nice cover on that. The manual itself is all full colour throughout, which is cool. And if you're a Street Fighter fan as I am, it's nice to have these things. And I have to say, really nice design on the disc of Armika there, if you make it out in the light. But that's a really nice thing. So quite happy to have that. And it was really just a little bit of a bonus. That's that one. Here we have Elemental Gearbolt for the PlayStation 1. And if you've seen any of the previous videos, you know I rather like light gun games. This is a light gun game for the PlayStation 1. Apparently with a storyline as well. I'm not sure how well this will, how easy it will be to play. I assume it's being a light gun game. It's going to be very straightforward, but I've heard it's a bit of a unique light gun game, so it may or may not include a little bit of reading. I know some of the written text is in English, sorry, at least, so maybe that'll help me. But I haven't had a chance to play this one yet. I will, I'm sure when I get a chance, speak about it on either one of these pickup videos or on the podcast I do, Tom Matt Tack. And yeah, hopefully hear more about this in future. I have heard that this Japanese copy of the game is a lot easier than the NTSC version, because this game was only released unfortunately in Japan and America. We didn't get a PAL copy of it, and the American copy, again, it's another one of the things that is really quite expensive, and well, the Japanese copy is rather cheap, so that's why I've picked the Japanese one. Next up, and yeah, second to last in this import edition of Parry's Pickups, you can see by the cover there, this is Cowboy Bebop for the PlayStation 1. This is a, how would I say it, a third-person shooter, spaceship shooter, imagine Star Fox, where you fly around in Spike, the main character, Spike. You fly around in his spacecraft and shoot stuff. And again, I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I'm a Cowboy Bebop fan, and I have the PS2 game, which actually isn't that bad. Again, as far as I'm aware, it was only released in Japan. It may or may not have had an American release. This one, as far as I know, was only released in Japan. And again, it has really nice artwork. There's a disc, sorry, which is super. And there's the back of the manual, which looks cool, and it's sort of a works in companion with the front. This is part of the Bandai The Best range, and maybe this game was released in another type of packaging initially, but quite happy to have this and look forward to giving it a go sometime. And I think lastly for this import video, we've got Dees Diner. Now, Dees Diner is the collector's edition of the game D, which is quite a unique FMV based horror type game. For this particular game, it's the 3DO version. The game was also released on the Saturn and the PC and the PlayStation. But now I was considering which version to get, and then this one popped up on eBay for a very reasonable price. I'd love to show you the insides of it, but as it is, I haven't been able to get the the disc box out of the package. Basically, this has got loads of extra bits and bobs with it, a couple of discs, a mini disc as well even, and is I think rather rare. If let me know if you know how rare this game is. I thought the price was very reasonable for it. So yeah, very cool. And once I actually get it out of the box and pull the 3DO out, I will give it a go. It's Japanese, so I guess there might be a language barrier there, but if I like the game enough, maybe I'll seek out one of the English language versions, perhaps 3DO version, perhaps a Saturn version, whatever's the most affordable. I say that brings me to the end of this import video. Thank you very much for checking it out. I hope it's been interesting, and maybe I've pointed out a couple of games that you didn't know existed and might want to try it yourselves. I'm sorry I haven't been able to give a critique on a lot of these games, because I just haven't had a chance to play on them yet. But I had to get this video done before I fly back out to Denmark, and I wasn't going to bring all these games with me, so hence why it's not as informative as it could have been. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you again for the next episode of Parry's Pickups. Ta-ta for now, and game on.